Okay, so we'll get back to the mining tax bill more now on the developments with the Speaker, and we'll break it down a bit. But when the government, Dennis, took this initiative, do you think they had in mind more Andrew Wilkie or Craig Thomson?
Well, I think probably both of those people were on their minds, but I think the thing that was most on their minds was trying to give the perception to the public of a government that's in control, in authority, and there's not about to be an election next weekend. The government, I think quite rightly, believes that one of the big drivers that's pushing its vote down is the perception of imminent crisis and a government that's about to fall over. Tony Abbott has pushed this line very successfully for the last 15 months, and this gives them a bit more. It gives them time. It gives them 2 years probably, and it gives them a perception of authority. On Andrew Wilkie, yes, I think that's in their mind. It takes some pressure off. As one backbencher said to me the other day, this means that Andrew Wilkie can't dictate to us. We can go to him and say, here's the kind of reform we're interested in. What do you think?
He's not expecting that approach, of course, at least that's what he's saying.
No, he's been assured that the Prime Minister will stick to the deal that she has with him, but he has added things to the deal which the government is unhappy about, like support for the Greens' idea of $1 a bet, for example. They don't want that, and they will stand against him on that, and that gives them a bit more leverage on things like that. So they will try and make the point to their constituents who are unhappy that they aren't supporting everything that he wants. So they will stand up to him a bit. On the idea of the psychology, I think the other point is that a lot of organisations, particularly big business, have been dealing with the government as if it isn't going to stay. And the coalition has been quite successful in going to big companies and saying, listen, this is not a legitimate government. It isn't going to be here for the whole term. Side with us, kick their heads in. And that's been happening a lot. And the government is very frustrated about that. And they're hoping that they are now sending also a message to business and saying, you can't deal with us like that anymore. You have to treat us as legitimate.
So, Nikki, what impact do you think that will have on the psyche within the coalition? This prospect now that the Parliament will run full term.
Well, I think that's had a huge impact. The Slipper defection, I think, just really rocked them. I had one Lib yesterday say that it was catastrophic because they did think that they were one vote away from election or by-election. They were convinced that Craig Thomson was going to be gone one way or another, and you know, that it was just going to be within their grasp, and now Slipper has
and they would have expected, of course, to win an early election. What do they now feel about their prospects 2 years from now?
Well, you know, a lot more hard work, and but also, I guess the thing is, if Craig Thomson does go, then they are back to where they were pre-Slipper. So you still have all that uncertainty.
But he couldn't possibly go in that short time span. Even if he was to be charged with something, by the time the courts got around to...
Well, it depends. They have another theory on that. They have another theory on how all that might have played out, depending on what sort of information, what sort of evidence there was against Craig Thomson. Now, we don't know the details, and I don't really think I want to canvass it here for obvious legal reasons, but they were pretty confident that it might not be as far off as people think.
I think the government is convinced that the time frame will be long enough, if indeed anything happens with Craig Thomson, that they can get through the next election, and then they wouldn't, if there was some question over his legal status, they wouldn't pre-select him again anyway. So they're convinced that it will be far enough away, maybe into 2013, that it wouldn't be a problem for them.